A pathless wilderness, wild, rugged, that was
South Dakota.
a hardy frontier, far from the paths of civilization,
Why die on Mars when you can live in South Dakota?
where fortune beckons with a glittering smile,
I was hauling pigs on the interstate. You were in a red car having a problem with your shirt.
and life hung on the quickness of a trigger finger.
Podcast Palooza.
The Sioux Empire Podcast.
Camera's ready? Good. Thank you for the little red blinky to let me know that.
Hey, great job.
Great job. Great job, tripod. He's the most stable member of the team. Oh,
That's a knee slapper.
that's going on dad jokes on Reddit. Well, welcome everyone to another great episode of the Sioux Empire Podcast. This is the Sioux Empire Podcast, the quirky but harmless podcast that's all about Sioux Empire news, comedy, music, and culture. I am your host, Robert Mehling, and with me as always is Seth Glover.
What's up, everybody? I hope you brought your appetite, Rob.
Ha! A name I didn't screw up for once.
Dude, how did I do that? I failed. He's the name.
I've passed the curse on to you.
Oh, no. Also here is Natasha Noosh.
Natasha Noosh.
Natasha Noosh, that's who.
Greetings, Natasha Noosh.
Or other.
How? No, and also joining us is Natasha Estes.
Natasha Estes sounds cool though. I
You're
kind of like that.
I like the new name is cooler. Makes it sound like I carry a sword. Awesome. And we are here in Fiero Pizza today with the air conditioning.
No,
or ice
that is
machine.
the ice machine.
Ice
yeah.
machine, yep.
It's all
No, with Jennifer Fierro Kelly
Yes.
of Fiero Pizza. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for coming, guys. I
Absolutely. So we're here today for part of our whole summer experiences episode. We're gonna check out your pizza. Tell us a little bit about so your downtown institution, Fiero Pizza. Everybody I talk to is it's late at night. We've been out perhaps imbibing in maybe one or two adult beverages. I don't know. I'm not into that scene, but I'm guessing they have one or two. And they head on over to Fiero Pizza for some late night pizza. Tell us what was your inspiration for one thing. Fiero's your middle name, but it's a cool name for a pizza place. What's up with that?
Okay. Well, it's my maiden name before I went Irish.
Ah.
And,
So it's the Italian-Irish pizza.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Mostly everyone who works here is my nephew, my brother. They're all Fieros.
Okay.
Yeah. At the beginning, when we first opened, people were like, Fiero Pizza. And my brother would be, yeah, break out his ID and see.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
And
Okay.
it was just a family thing. My parents had restaurants, and this was kind of my way to entice them to come to South Dakota. My dad and my brother.
Okay.
They weren't here before we started it.
Sure.
But
So was your husband South Dakota? Is that how you
Nope.
ended up out here? Okay.
No, he was from Michigan. It's all me.
It's all
my
you.
love for South Dakota has been the epicenter of all the Fieros to come.
You're all eyes on me, and everyone moved here.
Well, my family used to revolve around me because I was the youngest girl.
Okay. Yep.
And,
That'll do it.
I've passed it along to my daughter now. She is the one
Yeah.
where everything.
Amanda Mehling is also here, and she would tell you that my family doesn't all work that way, where we revolve around the youngest daughter. Is it? Yeah, exactly.
They save the best for last in my family.
There you go.
I agree.
You're like, it actually says it on my business card. Wow, that's amazing.
I'm the youngest of two families. Thanks, Dad.
Well, see, and I love pizza, and I've been West Coast, East Coast. I've been around. I've been to Italy. That's my thing.
Yeah, you've been all over the place.
Yeah,
So.
and I've always loved pizza, and I'm like, how can I make something that I want for myself? Just it was just a combination of these different factors. Like our crust, people call it flatbread, which angers me. It has yeast, people. It has yeast. That's the difference between our pizza and a flatbread. It's actually a New York style crust.
Sure.
And
Ooh, I like a New York style crust.
yeah, so
I'm getting excited here.
It's thin and it has, a little puff on the edge.
Thin but with puff.
Yeah,
It's like
and then
my
the
fave.
edge. Just a little bite to it fills you up. So see, that was my favorite in my travels. I know people criticize me all the time because we do the quick serve and they're like, but the wood fire and this and that. I don't like char. So
Okay.
I did what I wanted.
Yeah,
It was all
absolutely.
selfish. Because, yeah.
You're like, it's good to be the chef.
Yes, I guess I can do whatever I want. And so I just totally went crazy on the recipe. Like I tried just to get that classic New York crust. I tried so many, and just to try to get it on point. That was months in my kitchen. I lived here, and the epicenter was that I lived here downtown when I first moved back.
Okay.
I lived right Uptown Exchange here on Main, and so I saw these openings. When we first opened, there was 4 locations open on this block.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right when we moved in, people just started to move in, and it started to fill out too.
Good timing.
Yeah, it was good, and everyone was very supportive. Downtown community is great, even though I don't feel like I'm as involved as most owners are, just because of my hectic life.
Yeah.
I have a full-time job, 2 kids, little things like
Well,
that.
it's like, so the full-time job, the full-time kids.
Yeah. Because there's a thing called health insurance.
Health what now?
Oh, yeah, I know. That's what keeps you working for the man, even though you have. It's the truth. Like,
Yeah.
For a family of 4, and my husband has had health issues,
Sure.
and so we don't want to risk it.
Yeah,
It's too hard.
absolutely. I can relate to doing this stuff for family members, and making sure I got health insurance. So,
Yeah.
and I'm betting a lot of people can.
Yeah.
That's how we roll. But so you've talked about your influences on the crust.
Mhm.
So you like pizza. What was the impetus for being like, I want to sell pizza?
There was no pizza downtown. Nothing at all when we moved here.
Really?
Yeah.
And you have some of the most creative names for your pizza and creative combinations of flavors. Where did you come up with all those? Where's the inspiration?
Well, my imagination. The Atomica, which is our most famous, is the all meat, and it's kind of gruesome, but I think he will absolutely appreciate this.
I saw a picture of it, and I'm just like,
Well, it's called the Atomica because I thought of an atomic bomb and all the meat just exploding everywhere.
That's great.
Yep.
Oh, I love it.
It's kind of gross, but I'm just like, a meat explosion, Atomica, atomic bomb. So I'm just, And then,
delicious atrocities. So that's very
but
cool.
we rarely tell people that. That's my sick sense of humor. Mhm. Well, and then the Spartan, it has spinach and it's white sauce. My husband went to
Ooh.
Michigan State, so green, white,
Yeah.
Spartan. Yeah, I know.
Nice.
I'm a nice
I didn't put that together.
I'm
I
just like,
didn't either, and I'm totally. I'm not necessarily. I'm a college football fan, and wow, how did I not catch that?
yeah, that,
love
little things. The BBSQ, my brother, I'm one of 7, and he's the one who's always here, George, who's on
Holy
vacation.
cow.
I'm the youngest of 7, and my brother was supposed to be the last child, so everyone called him Baby. His name's George, and George for a baby is just not cute, so it was like, baby, baby, baby. I call him Baby. So it's Baby's barbecue, pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, of course, Mom's Plot is our veggie one, and I always thought, my mom's garden. Little
that's
things like
cool.
that. It's mostly, like I said, everything relates to family. And Fresh Farmer, my good story about that. That one, it has egg on it, which is it was rare then when we started it.
Ooh.
And the Fresh Farmer was because when I met John, my husband, he took me to his grandpa's 91st birthday party. And the first thing he said to me was, and he's an old dairy farmer, he's like,
Yeah.
she looks great, like she can raise chickens.
Well, that's a real compliment.
Yes, I know.
Good
And,
strong back. Good.
Yes.
Let me see those teeth.
and so I'm like, yeah, farmer, and then the eggs, and I'm just like connected. So I just have a very vivid imagination.
No,
So,
I love
yeah,
it. That's awesome.
just little things like that. And then Edgy Veggie was just random because it was, I don't remember, I came up with the name about a vegetable one, and apparently it was trademarked by some pizza place randomly. So I was like, change it quick.
I suppose if every pizza place ever trademarks every name they come up with for their combos, it gets to the point where it's just kind of like, it's like passwords, where it's going to be like, this is the all meats 743
Yeah.
Happy Monkey Pizza.
No, yeah, and it was just like, it was a big chain, I think, out of California. I remember how I just, internet coming across it, you know, I Google too much. Way
Is there such a thing as Googling too much?
no such thing. The whole
Yes.
Nowadays, it's just normal to
Well,
Google
have you
yourself.
seen that gif where my husband, he works at the VA, and he's constantly doing data entry, and that cat is just like,
Oh,
that
yes.
one. I sent it
I
to
make computer.
Yeah. And we send that to
I'm
him.
sorry.
It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And the cat has
That's
a green
what we
shirt,
do.
and my husband John, again, Michigan State, always wears green. So I'm just like, it's so fitting.
Nice.
So fitting.
Very cool.
And then how long have you guys been open?
We're going on 5 years in September. I think
Wow.
so. Yeah, I think 5 or 4
Congratulations.
in September. Again, my life has been a blur since children.
Oh.
Yes.
You're like, I know there was a pizza place going on or something in the background, but mostly I remember diapers and screaming.
Yeah, well, yes. That and just too much on your plate. Like, I was one of those meticulous people who had, like, in college, I had a color-coded closet. I was like
Oh, yeah.
this. Yeah, I was a
You
terrible...
wouldn't know what that's like.
No.
I'm that person.
No, it's like, kid there, I'm like, just a
Be like,
pile.
whatever,
My clean pile versus my non-clean. What I have to fold.
what about the in between? That's the only in between that I know. It's like,
Sniff tested.
That's my husband's.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yeah. He has his own little weird pile that he's like, don't wash it, don't wash it. And I'm like, okay.
I don't do that either. Why? Ah,
But yes, you know, it's mama brain is a thing. Let's
Yeah.
just say that.
Well, if it wasn't for your brain,
Mhm.
Sioux Falls wouldn't have this awesome pizza place downtown. So I'm kind of happy for your,
yeah, no,
dark humor mind and all of that.
your suffering is our benefit? No.
that's
no,
how it
not
generally
no.
is in life, isn't it?
I'm gonna say
Unfortunately,
yes.
Yes. I'm like, you know, and it was, like I said, one of those things, kind of just to bring our family together. Because I was, after my nomad life, kind of getting lonely, I'm not going to lie. And, you know, having to have someone to go and on the 4th and grill and do all that stuff's nice. Even though I don't see them much here because they're, you know, working all the time too, but on holidays. And
Sure.
we do take Sundays off and all that stuff. And we do you know, get together and all that, and they like it here. I believe South Dakota is the gem of the nation. I know it sounds weird, but I have this weird analogy that I tell everyone that I meet, because like I travel a lot still. I like to go around and, you know, get out of here, especially when it snows till April. I want to get out. I went to USD, so I'm sure you guys have been to the Music Museum, right?
Yep.
Okay.
We have for sure.
Yeah.
Have you been? Okay.
I keep telling you, it's world class. Gotta go.
So this is the whole thing. When I brought John to South Dakota for the first time, my husband, I'm like, well, we got to hit up the Music Museum. You know, it's free, you know, campus and all that. And you walk in on it's been years, so I don't know if it's changed. And I haven't been down there in a while, because if I go to Vermilion,
I heard they're getting a grant and expanding.
I did read that, but I don't know if the ambiance has changed yet. You walk in, on the left-hand side, there's a little lady volunteer, just like, sign in, dear.
Yes.
And you sign in, and then you go in, and you just look at these Stradivarius. There's like amazing.
Like only 6 of in the world. thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's no real security. There's just like a little, wire there. You're just hanging out and just like cool, all these like crazy guitars from like famous rock and roll stars back in the day. And from there, I've been like, this is the essence of South Dakota. Like, there's these amazing gems in like Vermilion, South Dakota. So you see it from the inside. I love Vermilion in my heart, but it's still not the most thriving town.
Yeah.
And you're just like, during college, I never went to Brookings or anything.
Yeah.
And I was just like Vermilion focused, like Friday, Saturday, I was on Main Street.
Yeah.
That was my thing. And then I did go visit Brookings once, and I'm like, they have all this?
Yeah, I did the same thing. I went for a New Year's Eve party to see a high school friend, and that was my only Brookings experience in my entire college career. And that was enough, because he was like the head of the theater association. Theater majors are insane. Like, their parties are like I was in a fraternity, so I was like, oh, I know a pretty wild party, naked guy with a road coat cover himself out in the lawn, drunk, blah, blah, blah. I know party. No, I know nothing of party. I am but a neophyte to the theater majors, and their insane, like, hot tub at a hotel, like, people running around naked in the snow having a snowball fight, like, madness.
Yes.
Pure madness.
That's what's great about college.
May or may not remind you, I was a theater major for a couple years, but it wasn't there.
Oh, I know.
So what is the one thing that South Dakota has that nowhere else that you've been has?
That's the whole thing. It's the people. It's like the people that you get to know and everything, and you just can't get it anywhere else. Like, I survived in DC because I worked for an office that employed about 98% South Dakotans, so it was like a little island of South Dakota in the middle. And you just, you get to know them, chill out, you have those experiences. East Coast people are a little bit more different, a little bit more wired, and just not too into it. The rat race here is just like, let's just go out and relax.
We get the relax, but we don't get the West Coast, like, totally zone out relax, where it's just, like, off the grid, like...
We
have that good Midwest work ethic.
Yeah, we get the work ethic, so it's like, so we have the laid-back West, but we still get shit done.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I agree with that. That's the perfect balance, because I am kind of a workaholic in that sense. I am constantly doing things and trying things, and failing, of course, at things, and trying.
Well, with business, that just comes with the territory.
Yeah, and just trying. That's the one thing about, I guess, my life philosophy is I don't want to. And it's not the fear of missing out thing. It's just like, if I have an opportunity to do something, I want to.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My husband does not agree with me most of the time on that. Because his parents are like Michigan, Midwestern, stayed there, farmed the whole time,
Is that
never left.
the UP or?
No, right north of Lansing. So they had like a dairy farm there, and they would go up there all the time. Go up north fishing, and they his parents downsized recently, and got off their current farm and just built a house in town. So that was like a big thing for them. But,
I'll bet.
yeah, it was a big deal. But for me, it's like, like before I met my husband, I traveled to Europe by myself. No one wanted to go. I'm like, I'll go. I have money right now.
That's awesome.
I'm just like,
That's courageous. But then again, I mean, you're a business owner. That's courageous.
but with kids, you can't do that anymore.
You must.
You have to add a little bit more planning. But I do say that my 5-year-old has been more places than I've been until I turned like 25.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I think that's cool to like get younger kids exposed to some stuff like that early on, and get them that whole like beyond the threshold of the home, because it's like.
Well, that's the one thing about South Dakota. You can get too comfortable. It is kind of too nice.
Yep.
Like I sometimes, because like I said, I've lived in different places. I live south east of town by the horse farm, you know.
Okay.
And some like cul-de-sacs over there. Especially in the summer, like tons of children just on their bikes, you know, roaming around. It's weirdly like a sitcom. I'm just like, my house, I see it and I'm like, this is like a sitcom house.
You're just like sitting out on your patio and you're like, wait, do you hear that? And then it's like the theme from like Leave It to Beaver or something,
Yes.
or Andy Griffith starts playing. It's like, oh no, it's happening.
It's just weirdly idyllic sometimes. And you know, I talked to my husband and I'm just like, we're just like, yeah. Just like, it's just, and when they came out with the cops came back, you know, with that crime analysis.
Yeah.
I looked, not one crime in my neighborhood in the past. I don't remember how far back I searched.
Nice.
And you know, it is lovely again, but at the same time, I would like for children to know the real world and the dangers.
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, that's one of the things. And now there's getting a little bit too much traffic in Sioux Falls. I'm like,
Starting to get traffic. I know.
Yes.
It's came here to escape it.
I know.
Pulling us back in. It's
I
like,
know.
well, you can't keep growing the way Sioux Falls does and not expect that to start happening.
That was just my one sadness.
It's still not what it could be though.
Yes,
compared
I
to.
agree.
I'm still not at my 45-minute one-way commute in, you know, Minneapolis yet. So
Yeah, let's see, because I live, like I said, southeast. It takes me about. I drop my son off at daycare on 60th, so I have to go all the way across.
Yeah. And that does it too, and the kids add to the commuting and stuff.
Yes, again, commute, kids. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna heed your advice. I'm gonna have Melissa listen to this podcast.
Oh, wait a minute. Listen very closely, Melissa, for the message within. It's a little subtle. Go, kids!
She wants to start a food truck, so I mean, she better take your advice.
And then, you know, you think when you're an entrepreneur, you know, that you're like, well, I could take the kids with me, no one would say anything. But, you know, when we started and I was coming, I would come in and do the dough or whatever. She was 2 or 3, and I'm just like, get away! You have grubby hands! No, get away! So, you know, little things like that you kind of think of, and just the hours and all that. But food trucks are cool. What kind, may I ask?
Yeah.
I'm very pro food truck. I know.
We haven't, like, she hasn't narrowed it down to, you know, a specific kind, but she's the best cook ever. Like, my sister is a really good cook, my mom is an okay cook, and, but I don't know how Stephanie got.
We'll get that in editing.
No, no, but Melissa is the best cook ever, and she can cook anything. She cooks, like, I didn't like eggplant until she cooked it for me. She puts bacon in it.
Wow,
She can make eggplant's good.
Oh, dude, it's so
Is she
good.
Neo?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, probably Yes, she puts the ingredients in the matrix and then makes it
She's
taste
like,
good.
it is not the eggplant that bends, but you.
Pretty much. But yeah, no, I haven't even. I should ask her what theme it would be. I'll have to ask her.
Yes.
See you later.
Yeah, I'm very pro. I know a lot of people with establishments are like, food trucks are the bane of my existence, but I'm like, you know, they don't pay what we pay. I'm like, yes, we pay a lot in taxes, but whatever. You know, people need to experience, especially in Sioux Falls, different culinary experiences.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That was.
I think for like getting people out of the cycle of chain food is really a good idea, you know, because it's like you can really get into a rut where it's just like you do the Olive Garden, you do the you know, the Applebee's or the Chili's, and that's your eating out sphere.
Yeah, well, since I lived in different cities where basically fast food is not that available either, I'm very pro fast food. I know it sounds horrible. I'm just pro food.
No, it's
in every way. Like, you know, like me right now, the Arby's bacon cheddar roast beef sandwich, that's my buddy. And it's like, if I'm in a rush, you know, I understand that. And like, I can't produce that. That's always been my main thing as a cook. Like, I want to make what I can't buy elsewhere. or when I go out, I'm like, I want to eat something that I can't make at home.
Yeah.
So I've perfected fried rice, because that was like burning a huge hole in our pocket. We'd go out for Chinese a lot, and I'm like, I can do this. And I did. Finally, I perfected it for the kids and all that like that.
Nice.
And I don't like frozen vegetables, so I ex-made that out and added some other things. So yeah, I'm, like I said, very pro food truck and all that.
Yeah,
And that's, yeah. I was gonna say that that's how Swamp Daddy started, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You get the taste, you get your clientele, you get all that. And
Yeah,
that'll-
Swamp Daddies. I got hooked on them that time. That the very first time they showed up in the Midco where I work parking lot, and
that jambalaya.
the jambalaya just. Well, I stupidly put because I'm used to Midwest hot sauce where it's just it's not that hot. They use real hot sauce, so I put my usual quantity on it. And I didn't think to get a beverage, and I didn't eat it until I got back to my car because I was going to make a bunch of phone calls. So I'm sitting in the car with no beverage, foaming at the. I'm sure if somebody walked past the car, why is that man sweating, twitching, and foaming at the mouth inside of his car? Should we call someone or? But so then I had to go all the way back up into the office from the far lot because I used to park really far away, and yeah, it was an experience, but it was super good.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I went through all that and I'm still it's very good, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My favorite homegrown is Nick's Gyros. I can't change.
No, I know where, but I know what I know.
It's
but that was the best. There was nothing better than those mac and cheese egg rolls, the banh mi, and everything. Oh man,
And it's you got to try different things, and I think that's what will keep
Good morning.
nephews. That'll keep South Dakota and Sioux Falls exciting and growing. A lot of people don't, because of workforce, we gotta keep the young people here, but you gotta, keep that food there, that culinary, the going out, the different things going.
You gotta have the culture that attracts the young people if you want to keep the young people. Because guess what, young people, surprisingly, I know with all the smoking, they seem like they're on the ball. However, not the most rational actors. So, I say that, but it's just how rational is it to not have the things you like around,
Yeah.
So, it's they want the fun.
Yeah.
Gotta have the fun, and they don't have their set patterns yet and stuff, so they're not gonna just, like you said, they're not gonna get too comfortable. They're in that age where their brain is go, explore, do things.
Well, at least coming back. There's something to come back to. That's what I always.
Absolutely.
That's what I did. I left, came back.
That's what I did.
Brought people.
Yeah, for anyone that's in a comfortable fast food just downward spiral, or if you're in a comfortable situation with some other pizza place, you have to try this out because it's just completely different, and you have to try new things. And this, you're gonna like it. You're gonna find new things that you didn't know you liked.
Well, with us, that's why we do the build your own. So it's I just invented these, different combinations and all that. But if you like the classic Supreme, we get a lot of those. I would like a Supreme pizza. And I'm okay, what do you want?
Right.
We have over 40 toppings, just go for it. And that's our main goal, just to, do what you like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, different cheeses. We tried pepper jack cheese for a little while. That wasn't a hit, surprisingly.
Ah.
Yeah. I know. Classic provolone, mozzarella, and cheddar. And I'm picky about cheese. Yeah, dairy farm family.
Sure.
That'll our mozzarella is the full fat cheese. There's not the skim milk cheese. So it has that extra creaminess to it. And we have it portioned. Everything's, this is when I was meticulous, when we created these pizzas. Everything, we have 4 slices. People put more cheese on it and all this. But this is it gets just too rich and it overpowers the rest of the ingredients if you put more cheese. I know people are they're stingy with cheese sometimes. And I'm no. Calculated.
There's a plan. It's calculated.
Yes, and you could say extra cheese, of course. Not a problem, but that's how, we come about. Like, our pizzas aren't even round. And that was because they're oblong type things. So if you look at our oven, it's a square chamber. So if we put them in like that, because we cook them in 2 minutes, we can put more in the chamber at once, or they slide through.
Sure.
So when it's busier, you don't have to wait. Because
And then it still cooks evenly when you do it that way.
Yes, that's the key to life for us.
I should say I'm the only privileged one, other obviously than you, that has had this pizza before, and it's a completely different experience. I've had pizza. I haven't been to as many places as you, but I've had Chicago, had New York, I've had. Okay, so not that many, but this is completely different.
Yeah, that's what we strive for, It's a little bit different.
But I don't want to brag, but I've had pizza from the elite chef Freshetta.
Can't beat Jack.
Yeah. Oh, Jack's pizza.
I just go for it really cheap. It's very budget friendly.
Well, yeah, at college, that's what, the cheese that doesn't even melt, I feel like, that's in the college one. They're just like that weird crust. I'm pro pizza in every way.
Yeah.
Mine
Like
turns into a taco in the oven.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I like the way you said that. Clearly, that actually happened to you. Aww.
Many times, that's because I can't catch it.
Or when you get a cheap pizza that you don't do a pizza pan on and it does the mushroom cloud thing where like the hole opens to the bottom and then I'm going to be cleaning the oven. Or not. And I'm just going to have the fire alarm go off the first 6 times I cook.
Yeah.
I actually had that problem at my old apartment.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe it was somewhat of my fault, but it didn't smoke, but my fire alarm, or my smoke detector rather, would go off. Every time that I kind of maybe kicked up a little bit of steam or something like that. It was very annoying. It was the apartments by Costco. But seriously, it just happened too many times.
Is there anything special about your sauces?
We make the red sauce here.
Both of them?
Yep, and they are, tomatoes are imported from Italy. Ooh. So that's why it's a little, they're a little bit, you can't get the sauce anywhere else. It's not the ragu sauce. That's really how that's kind of one of my abilities. Like, you mentioned Olive Garden. I can make the zuppa. Yes, I can make it. Because, again, kids, all that, when you have people who throw things at the table you don't want to go to a restaurant, we feel like we're kind of banned from restaurants. We banned ourselves.
You're in exile from restaurants.
Yes, just because, but I love the zuppa, and when I was pregnant with my son, I'm like, to go, it was like I have to have the zuppa, and so I just learned to make it, and that's kind of my ability. So when I go out to eat, I try to decipher what, just like, that's my nerdy thing, what ingredients are in there, and I could usually match it, and of course, Google, copycats for everything, but still, and I usually can decipher which is like ragu and the ragu pizza sauce and
Nice.
Yeah, that's one of my fun pastimes.
Just talking about this making me want to try cooking stuff. It's making me feel experimental, I want to go.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So what makes it spicy versus classic? What's the spice? Or
hot peppers.
It's hot peppers.
Yes.
Is it or can wimpy people have it?
I don't know. I've never tried it. I'm a wimpy person. I don't do spicy. I'm a horrible eater when it comes to that. The guys say, but it tastes good from what I'm told.
And then is the white sauce like an
Alfredo type? Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it as thick as a traditional Alfredo, or is it a little bit lighter?
It's a little bit thicker.
It's a little bit thicker.
Yes.
Okay.
I like the. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Well, you said you had the Spartan, so I immediately read the description. I'm like, okay.
What people usually add to the Spartan is chicken and bacon. Yeah.
Wait, the oven and the ingredients, it's basically like the carbonara from Quiznos. That's a thing I was like
Obsessed with?
I had a bit.
A bit.
In college,
Yes.
when a Quiznos opened in Vermilion,
I
I literally
remember that
like lived there. Like, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna order like 3 larges because I'm gonna have like a couple for lunch and then a couple for dinner and then for breakfast tomorrow I want to be able to have chicken carbonara. That's
So
what I
it's
lived
good.
on.
Yes. Goodness.
What is the garlic puree?
It's like a sauce that you can add on to it. Some people like it all over. For me, it's a little bit too powerful.
Okay.
It's kind of like a raw garlic mix, and it's just pureed. So what we recommend is you have the sauce, and then you put the garlic around the crust. And it's fresh garlic. It's like completely made here too.
So it's like garlic bread?
Yes. It's like garlic bread sauce, but freshly made here from fresh garlic.
So is it garlic and olive oil, or what's the...
Olive oil and a couple spices to just,
Hell, I think it's
Not
time
the
to distribute
nasty-
the drool cups based on Natasha's.
not the gross stuff, not to match the gross stuff on Domino's.
Yeah.
Not to knock Domino's, however, I got really sick off of it while pregnant with my first child, so I'll never eat it again. It's one of
that'll do
those situations, but when they improved their pizzas, they added again, I always try to decipher things, like a garlicky, have you guys had it lately?
Yes.
The garlicky flavor, but it's like garlic powder.
Yes.
It's garlic powder, I think, a little bit of garlic salt, and a little bit of dried basil. That's what I think it is. I have no idea. That's my guess.
My random guess is a person who we've already established is very good at guessing these things.
It's just so it's like a fresh.
So is it fresh herbs, or is it, what kind of spices?
We do one
She does all the
dried.
cooking, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. We do. What is it? White pepper, because you can't see it.
Okay, white pepper.
And then my brother's gonna kill me. He's like, "Don't give away our secrets." He always says that.
I feel like I want to ask you what the secret herbs and spices for KFC are. Like, I have a working model. Let me go get the diagram. Oh, it's salt. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Lots of salt and celery salt. There's one there.
She does have a working theory.
Well, but the thing is, the problem with fast food stuff to match it, it's not the ingredients, it's the equipment.
Yeah.
That's why, because they pay thousands of dollars, for special fryers, that can produce, to the pressurized cooking for the fried chicken or, different things like that. So a lot of it is just the equipment, or some pasta places. We don't do pasta because I haven't wanted to do that. They have pre-cooked pasta in bags, and then they just flash boil.
Yeah.
And then it kind of seems fresh, and then they can pick because you fear going too kind of soft on your noodles. That's the worst thing. Soft noodles, terrible. Yeah. So
No, it's I don't because
So it's the process for fast food. It's the process more than the ingredients. I'll say that from what I've learned.
Would you say here, though, it's more the ingredients?
Yeah, because we don't, the dough, this is what we perfect, I'm very proud of the crust. That's the main thing, because it took the longest. Our dough, it ferments for at least minimum 24 hours. And why we do that, and it's just the old school techniques of, people who actually know pizza, is the yeast eats the sugar. That's why I'm saying people think it's flatbread, because it feels like there's no yeast.
Yeah.
Because the yeast eats the sugar. That's why it's a much lighter, and it doesn't. Trying to compare. When you eat our pizza, it's different because, like I said, it's lighter, airier, and it doesn't just sit on your stomach hard. When you get a pan pizza from Pizza Hut,
Yeah.
and it has that just dough, and you're just boom. That has no processing
I ate this
whatsoever.
loaf of bread with some
Yeah.
sauce on top of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, and you know when
I like it. I'm saying it is that.
Yeah. When I was a kid, my favorite thing was doing the white bread and smishing it and making it into this like that dough and just taking the crust off, and that was awesome for me.
That's awesome.
So, you know, I don't judge anyone else, but I'm saying that's why the different flavor and kind of like the processing. You know, like our dough is the classic yeast, salt, flour, and you know, sugar for, like I said, for that process. But it's the process that does it. Most people have the same, you know, ingredients. Some people add some chemical stuff. We don't. We just make it fresh. It's a lot easier for us.
Sure.
And then it's just a day-to-day process. But that's why it'll feel lighter in your stomach versus other places.
Very cool.
And I studied chemistry. So.
I was gonna say, how did you learn like this sort of what can I think of, the Food Network and also Iron Chef host? I can't, but this food knowledge, it's like on a chemistry level, like, you know.
Yeah, well, I studied chemistry. I was homeschooled before that, so anything that I get obsessed with, I learn from everywhere. Like I said,
you self-learning.
Yeah, it's always been a process. That's the only way. I never went to high school or anything. I just went from there to college, graduated, and did my thing. But it was never like learning ends. It's just like, oh, I like this. I may be obsessive compulsive. I don't know.
The way you speak about food makes me think of Alton Brown.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, it's something you can get into, and you know, when I travel, that's like the family thing. That's what we most miss. Like, you know, that's one of the bad things too about traveling. Sometimes is, you know, if you've really had tacos in Mexico, you can never really have tacos anywhere else.
Yes.
If you had like the real, you know, I had this barbecue chicken and this lime. It was coleslaw, but with no cream. It was just like no mayonnaise. It was just like this lime and fresh herb things on a beach in Honduras.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I can never eat coleslaw again. And it's like, this is like the best thing I've ever had.
South of Playa del Carmen, there was on one of the like back streets there's this famous seafood taco cart where it was like literally for like a handful of peso. I mean, the equivalent of like $1.
Yes.
You could have 6 crispy shrimp tacos, and it was like that, where it was like there was a slaw on it that wasn't really a slaw, and then they were crispy, and there was some kind of brown sauce on it, and I would kill to find a way to like be able to duplicate it. It's like I don't know that I'll ever get back there to like try it again, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, it was good. And then like that's what got me on that Pacifico beer kick, because I didn't drink anything but Pacifico because that's the beer they had with it. It was so good. I drank that beer for like 3 years afterwards.
Well, I could tell you why Pacifico is so good.
Oh,
weird experience in life. I went to a town in Mexico a long time ago when I was younger, and they had, you open the tap water, and it was the most delicious water that I've ever encountered in my life. And I found out later, because my husband, when we went, because we got married in Cancun.
Oh, cool.
They were serving Pacifico on tap.
Nice.
Because we were at an all-inclusive, and they had a can, and I was looking at it. They're producing the Pacifico beer where I tasted that water.
Oh.
So I think it's that fresh well water that, because I don't, weirdly enough, I don't drink beer even.
That's awesome.
But I just analyze things. But that was the only thing that I noticed that was different. And he's like, it was amazing. And I'm like, I've tasted that water before.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's my experiences traveling.
I feel like I can bring up any food thing. You're like, funny story.
So other than your options here, is there a combination that you've made that just like heaven started singing?
Oh, for me personally, because I like really classic food. I do I simple it down. These are too complicated for me. I just like, the normal sauce. I'll do the white sauce with this one, mozzarella, bacon, and then if we have some, because we have salad sometimes we don't, lettuce and tomato with ranch on top. So it's like a BLT with ranch. So it's like a hot sandwich BLT on our crust. And I'm like, that's kind of awesome.
That sounds awesome.
I need that in my life.
I need it in my life.
Speaking of ranch, I did. What we're famous for too is the cilantro ranch. If you guys like cilantro, you like ranch. That's kind of we're famous for that sauce, and we do make the ranch in house.
Did I see that on here?
There it is. One of them. Yeah, one of the combos.
That's one I was thinking of.
Does it have any spice to it?
Yes. It has jalapenos in it.
Oh.
But is it like for a wimp like me? Can I handle it? I love cilantro.
I've had it and I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't do spice. My husband is the one that it's really funny.
Is the guinea pig for the spicy?
Yes, because he will go to Buffalo Wild Wings and he will get the ones with the warning labels on it.
Nice.
It'll be too hot, and I'm like, ew. I like the flavor. I can't do some spice on Asian food though. I don't know why. It's weird, but. So I like food.
Clearly.
Yes. That's just my thing. Everywhere I go, I try to try something different.
Well, I'm certainly glad that you found your calling and you somehow wound up in South Dakota.
My hobby.
Food and Game of Thrones, right?
Oh, yes, I'm looking forward to that. Man,
the first time I met you, I think, didn't we talk for like 40 minutes straight about
what's going to happen?
What's happening in Game of Thrones? Yeah.
Well, that's like our, again, married life. That's our only bonding moment, husband and I. So it's like the things we discuss, like Game of Thrones, because, good reason, kick the kids out, can't watch that, of course.
Definitely not.
And then, just like be us, and then we'll hold off until we're both there and just try to decipher. And this is so intricate, it's so nice. Okay. My husband is surprised though that I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan. Even though I know. But his family is so into it, I think I'm rebelling. My niece is named Aelin. Oh. They named her Aelin after.
Wow.
Yes. So you can understand the scope of the Lord of the Rings fandom in that family.
Any Walking Dead fans?
I've never seen an episode. I get one show.
You get your one. That's a good one show if you're gonna go with one show.
That's like my obsession. And one movie a year. When my in-laws come for Christmas. And Star Wars ones now that they're coming out, and which I enjoyed Solo. I don't understand many that did not.
Yeah, I didn't get the like. Okay,
Yeah.
But I didn't get the the negativity so much with it. What did you think of the Last Jedi? It seems like people either hate it or love it, and there's there is an in between because I think my brother and some of his friends fall in the in between category where they're they liked it, but it wasn't what they expected. But
for that one, it's easy to get in a mid-ground because, you have the old Star Wars, the early 2000 Star Wars, and thankfully something that's not early 2000 Star Wars. But it's not the 70s, it's not the earliest Star Wars either.
At least it's got the same people, so you're like, not the how rude stuff.
The Last Jedi, it felt like, was doing a lot of deconstruction. You know what I mean? Where they were
Yeah, that's what. Okay, this sounds really horrible, but me and my brother, as teenagers, would discuss Star Wars, the original 70s version. And we had decided that there had to be prequels before there were prequels. And we would discuss how we would do it. That's how profound we were into this.
A lot better than how they...
Yes, I'm just just him meeting Queen Amidala, and she was this big and he was this big. I find it disturbing.
Weird.
Yeah, I'm just what kind of fantasy is that? And I'm just no. They were awful, but of course we went to go watch them and all that. And the new one, I think the only problem with the new one is that I think Rogue One was really good.
Yeah, I really
and that
like
brought up my expectations. I'm like, they could actually do something good. And then Last Jedi happened. I love Leia, but the whole
flying through
Flying,
space.
yeah, that
it
was
and just the way they did the Force too, where it was like, oh, everyone can have the Force now. Poof. Now what? You know? Like,
Oh wait, that was from the Rogue One. So I was like, well, they were like that one, the blind guy with the stick.
uh-huh.
I know it's not a stick, but that's
Yeah,
a stick. And he was one of like the temple guardians of like the stuff that makes the lightsabers, right? So maybe, but there better be Force ghosts in the next one.
something exciting. I don't know.
I like that. That's your thesis statement where you're just kind of like
Must
going
be.
off on a thing, and then there must be Force ghosts.
Well,
I cannot compromise on this. This aggression will not stand.
There's the disappeary thing, just like the Yoda disappeary thing.
Yeah,
And at least they had the old Yoda instead of the CGI Yoda. I was just
that's
like,
true.
Well, supposedly Leia and Luke are coming back for the next one. That's what they announced.
Yeah,
Oh, 'cause
I
I
heard
heard that
Luke is
they
for sure.
were-
Well, they're gonna,
And they have to do something with Leia, which I'm just like, boy, that's
Oh,
difficult.
They
Well, see-
did that at the end of Rogue One, though. I mean, you
Yeah.
could tell. I mean, obviously you would know too, but it's like, yeah, not bad. So
Mhm.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. The Tarkin was a little weird, but it wasn't. I wouldn't put it in Uncanny Valley though, because it was so well done. Like they really worked that. You could tell compared to some things like the dreaded Cavill mustache that everyone goes on about
Yes.
from Justice League. Where it's like, oh god, what happened to his face? But no, I think it was just weird to see him because he looked younger than the last time I saw him, and
Yeah.
it was weird, but like they worked at it. It was a good attempt, I think.
Well, I don't think Ryan Johnson should do the next film.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of.
Yeah. And I liked Brick. He did a good job with Brick. If you've
Yep.
seen that movie, but it's pretty good. See, I was off movies forever, and then husband again brought
Yep.
me back to the world, and boyfriends. But then I don't know. So, Last Jedi, the death of this is the big thing on my husband's thing is Admiral Akbar should not have died like that.
Right.
They're just like
Yeah, that really bugged me.
everyone was like, and I'm like, I get that. I get it completely. And I'm just like, he, deserved more, and we all agree on that. So I think, like you said, they tried to deconstruct everything, but they also alienated what fans held dearly at the same time. Because it was like, the Force, you had to train, you had to work hard, you had to get it. It wasn't just like, I can kick ass with just, magically.
Yeah.
And that's what's kind of sad about it. And the way Luke supposedly demised was also very,
Yeah, it wasn't like a. Which I mean, I guess it was like a little bit. It's kind of doing a mirroring thing with Obi-Wan, but by the same token, when that happened to Obi-Wan, we didn't have this whole huge elaborate we've been following him for years kind of thing. Whereas I think it's like not to downplay his importance, but I feel like people were a lot more invested in Luke.
yes.
Well,
of course.
He was the protagonist of everything, of all the real Star Wars up until that point, and then just to be like a side character who gets. It's kind of like beneath the Planet of the Apes, where they couldn't what's his face, NRA guy, Charlton Heston. Where Charlton Heston didn't want to do it, but they threw so much money at him, he was like, "Fine, I'll be in it for 5 minutes." So literally, he's the main person in the first movie, and this is the second Planet of the Apes movie. He disappears right at the beginning and gets sucked into a ground vortex thing. Mm-hmm. He reappears in the last 5 minutes and dies heroically disarming an atom bomb or something like that. And then that's his entire appearance in the entire movie. That's the way Luke felt a little bit in that one, where it was just kind of but he wanted to be in it, and we wanted to see him more. But
and then Rey's lineage too. That was also
I think it's a lie. I think they're going to
it has to be because
they're going to retcon it, and yeah.
There has to be some more backstory than that, because it's just
That's just cruel.
I think it's the dark side trying to be like, see, the dark side is what's going to make you.
See, what I'm afraid of is that they're going to be like, well, you can't trust the lineage because, what's his name? The guy from Girls, who's the bad guy now?
Oh, Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. He's like bad and all this, and you can't trust his lineage because he supposedly has the super lineage of Han Solo and the Skywalker. And you have to, that's what I'm afraid of.
But Luke was still cool, and Leia's still cool.
Yeah.
And,
But, that's what I'm saying, was just trying to make them not cool anymore.
yeah, but they're still cool.
I don't know. I think that's what everyone's fighting about, is that they're cool and they tried to make them not look cool. So yeah, it's been a very passionate, yeah. And a lot of people complain about the political undertones, but in all the movies there
I
are.
thought that was always
Yeah,
why they were.
That's just kind of like
Yeah.
kind of entertainment
there.
from.
Yeah. Because
You're gonna have a thing with galactic empires. Well, especially like the prequels, where like it's just like, George, if you just wanted to write a political paper and submit it, I mean, like.
yeah, but
You
now
know.
people have, they have keyboards and they're like, oh, it's all about this
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that.
It did
So-
seem a little bit more obvious with they sell weapons to both sides. The rich people are all this, that,
Yeah,
the other.
little
thing.
things
It's
like
a little
that.
bit in your face. I mean, make my brain have to work for it at least.
What are you spying on, Boo?
Jalapenos.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, because it looked like green peppers, but I'm like, no, that's not green peppers. So.
Well, the one is green peppers and the one is onions. On the
Yeah.
no, that's
green onions.
Jalapenos and green onions.
I
There
like
you go.
onions.
Yeah, me too.
I'm ready for pizza. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
you
know
guys are
about
ready.
anybody else.
Yeah.
Subtle,
but-
very subtle.
I know.
I can talk forever. That's my thing, especially about fun things like Star Wars.
I don't know about you guys, but I kind of want to set you free and tell you to just make us what you think we should try. Like,
oh, if you want, I could just.
That sounds fun.
I think that sounds fun.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's parents.
I will take that. I would hint that I'd be very curious to try the Spartan and Atomica, but just throwing that out
I
there.
want something with more veggies, but I might pick off the jalapenos and mushrooms and give them to someone else.
I'm open to trying anything, but I'm a wimp.
Okay.
So
Yes.
that's why I was like setting, because you said you were a wimp, so I'm like,
yeah.
I'm open
like,
to everything, but protect me.
yeah,
Of course I will.
pretty much.
It's okay. Yeah, we'll bring in a good variation here. That way, you guys can try our different things. We have a wheat crust too, so I'll bring one of those out.
What's the difference between, I mean,
It's just literally whole wheat versus same process, same everything. It kind of, because the whole wheat is heavier, it doesn't puff as much. Just it's physically heavier, so
Right.
the yeast doesn't puff as much, but it tastes the same, and it tastes and it's more fiber because of that.
Right.
But beyond that,
okay.
yeah, I could douse it with lots of white sauce, and then that way you won't taste it. Counterbalance that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'll tell them because, like I said, I've been not feeling that great for a while, so I don't want to.
Yep.
So I'm gonna send out a variation.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Awesome. The Colossus,
Okay.
and it's the Atomica with egg, so it's more protein.
And what kind is that?
I think you just made that one up.
Okay.
It's like a supreme.
Okay.
Because it has like, I told them to make one up.
Awesome.
So, well, I'm gonna head out of here. You guys don't need anything else. Go back to my children.
No, that's awesome. Thank you so much
Yes,
for joining
thank
us.
Yeah, it was wonderful to meet you.
Great.
Yeah, thank you again so much.
Thanks for coming out.
This is really awesome.
I do listen to you guys.
I'm sorry.
Oh no! Oh no!
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, enjoy, guys.
Thank you.
All.
Yes,
Continue to listen.
thank you very much.
We'll see you.
All right.
Have
so
a
I
good
hope you
one.
get better.
Be like, oh darn.
Oh darn. The Spartan's good, but Spartan with chicken and bacon is on another level.
The crust is like perfect.
But that white sauce, though, yeah.
The crust is so perfect. I want to cry.
It's just like the perfect kind of like cordon bleu, but no ham. sort of like chicken and goodness.
Audio listeners are going to think we're having sex with the pizza.
And you know what? She was right to go on about the crust because it's fantastic. And anybody that says differently, you need to open your taste buds.
I'm not much of a fighter, but I'll fight whoever's like saying the crust isn't amazing. So what is this one we all just completely consumed?
This is the Spartan with chicken and bacon.
Spartan with chicken and bacon. Awesome.
Yes.
So you are eating artichokes.
Right, I was going to say that, yeah. Some people don't like them, but in here, you'll like them.
Oh, I hate artichokes. I never touch artichokes.
I know, that's why I was saying that it's so good that...
So we're going to get a few of these to go too?
Yeah, the last time that Melissa and I were here, we just got the one Spartan. I think I'm going to have to, double up my order next time. But it is very light too, and it is,
Oh my gosh. You know, and I suppose it doesn't help spending an hour talking about and hyping it before you eat it. That's just kind of like...
You've reached the destination
like,
on the road to glory.
It's like being on an episode of like a food channel network show and actually getting to eat the thing they're talking about.
So you missed the explanation.
Yeah.
So this is the Colossus with egg.
Okay.
This is the edge veg, or edgy veggie, or whatever. And that they just made up.
Yeah.
And that's the only one that's on the whole wheat crust.
Does anyone care if I take a piece of the egg?
No, I don't care.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to Colossus next.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm guessing that's gooey.
it is ooey gooey, and that's
The look on your face is just like...
really good breakfast burrito that has like really good chorizo and really good egg, and it's spiciness with like the just creaminess of the yolk. I've never had an egg on a pizza, but this is probably the best egg I've ever had. You gonna eat that?
Okay, so I'd like to go on the record saying, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap, this is good.
Yeah.
I like the first one better. This is still...
Yeah, for me, I love spice, and I think I'm the only one at this table. Do you love spice? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's the boys that love the spice. I would have to put that as a 4 for me. I do not.
Would you do me a huge favor and grab the menu so we can kind of compare ingredients? Chili oil and the hot sausage that made that one spicy. Okay? That's the mystery. That's the edgy veggie.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it with some mushrooms and all this because I can do it.
Will you peel me an end piece? Oh, you already did.
I did.
Because you rock.
So the edgy veggie.
If I was going to go vegetarian, I think I found what I'd live on.
Absolutely. Yeah, the tomato really pops, and then that cheese. I think is that feta cheese, I think, on top.
Yes.
Yes, the feta cheese on top is like a little pack of flavor that comes over the tomato. But yeah, the tomatoes are really fresh from Italy, as she said, so.
It's so good, I don't know what to say. And that's not normal for me.
Had I known that, we would have come here first even.
Would anyone be mad if I went like this and put that one on that one?
No, not at all.
Go for it.
Whatever's the spiciest one?
Is that the Colossus, or which one's the spiciest one? Amanda's looking at the menu.
Out of these four, it'd be the Colossus.
Out of the ones we had, the Colossus is the spiciest.
Then I think the one that just has the red sauce, you asked for spicy, and that's... Or actually, no, which one has the jalapenos?
Yeah, I guess that would be the spiciest one. I don't know, there's so much going on, I can't keep track.
Well, there's
And all my brain can keep track of this pizza.
I know why it's
There's
hard
one
for
that
those Food
says
Network
it's
stars
spicy.
now.
It's called Seeing
It's
Red,
just like
where it's got the spicy sauce, the fire roasted peppers, the
Food
jalapenos,
knowledge.
and the chili oil.
Holy shit.
So that's the spiciest one on the menu.
I think I'm gonna get him that one, and if he's like, this is too spicy, I'll go, who are you?
Alright, time for the mystery pizza. It's like spinach, tomatoes, mushroom.
Is it super spicy?
It's a little bit. You're not getting the spice?
I'm not getting spicy.
I'm trying not to. Oh, I'll take it, I touched it. I'm getting the spicy.
Okay, I'm getting pepper.
This was spicier than the other one.
And it has the white sauce. Oh man. Oh man, that's awesome.
So I think this one has. Well, no, I don't even know.
A little bit. I'm gonna do it though. I can do it.
I don't know if I can do it. You just took a giant bite.
Don't hurt yourselves.
Well, I gotta watch. I mean, her face is turning all red.
Not really.
Yeah.
This is bite with a white sauce mushroom and the wheat crust. That's great.
Can you see through time?
There it is.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about, mister? 3-1 of...
Sorry, it didn't kick in on that first piece.
Huh. And I don't even know what the spicy thing is.
Well, you know what,
Maybe
Dustin
the
did?
red...
He's like, here's a piece of cheese. It's not the spicy cheese. I took a big bite, and it was the spicy cheese. So I'm just like, I'm used to surprise way too stuff. Well, not used to it. I got it first, so we didn't do it again, but...
Romance.
You see why I stopped?
Rob has reached mass pizza level. Put the slice down, sir.
The doom. It does nothing. Okay, I'm officially super full of incredible pizza. Definitely want to say a huge thank you to Jennifer and everyone at Fiero Pizza. What a fantastic experience. You are really missing out. This is a gem downtown, and you really got to check out the pizza. The crust is literally something to write home about. I kind of want to sing it a song. Anyway, any shameless plugs before we go, guys?
Oh, I do have to give a like I'm forced, but a shameless plug to my brother. Just had his birthday yesterday, August 3rd. So happy birthday, bro.
Natasha, you got anything to shamelessly plug? Sausage!
What?
Your massage place. You always where they can go get a massage.
Yes, you should go to Spot 2000 because it's the coolest.
Absolutely cool. Go do one of those sensory deprivation chamber things, and then we'll get a massage from Natasha. Amanda, do you have anything to shamelessly plug this week?
Unicorns.
Yes.
That is a good shameless plug. I like that. Well, I'm going to shamelessly plug 605 Magazine. A gigantic thank you for the 2-page write-up you gave us. That was a really cool article about urban Indians. Real pleasure to work with you guys. Really fun to see the studio in print. Just thank you so much. And thank you also to patron Matthew Paulson once again. And just remember, you can listen to us at thesioux-empire.com and to check us out on Live 605. All of our shows are streaming on that station. So thank you very much, everyone, and have a wonderful week. The next time we join you, it'll be with the cast of Urban Indians for our crossover episode. Have a great week, everyone, and I hope you're having a fantastic summer.
Bye.
Bye.